The possibility that Vi Ahri, Faker's Ahri, was pretty fantastic in that win against D+. So first pick Corki does feel like it is pretty self-explanatory here for the side of T1's a safe pick.
Yeah. Might also consider something like an Azir, but I think especially with Chovy's Zeri mid performances, you might want to, be a little bit careful with that.
Now, will Chovy play Draven mid against Faker is the question. The Zeri pick, I think stocks went way up with that Ezreal lock, can still be technically a flex. And I do think that, it's a bit of a risk to try to play Draven mid when you've got Owner off to lock Nidalee down because she's going to be so far away. You get one of the frontliners, there's another one that you have to still go through. And to get Owner into position to actually set up a big sleep here is going to be tricky. They've got a lot of damage output in Kalista Corki on their double 80 carry side that can eventually shred through those tanks, but it's going to be really tough if Gen.G can just stem the bleeding through the mid game, start to get some big items on the Ornn, the Cassante. It's hard to break through that. And Zeri would, if she was the 80 carry in this comp, would feel very comfortable with two tanks, but you also have that Senna threat that's going to add extra sustain as well in team fights. I'm going to have to lean towards Gen.G in the draft here, but I think T1 do have an opportunity if they could snowball things early, get some big ults from Lilia in the mid game, and get too big to fail. There is a way that they actually stop this Gen.G composition before it really gets fully rolling.
Yeah, speaking of rolling, Lilia here for Owner, going up against Canyon's Nidalee. That's going to be a rough matchup. I do wonder, how he is going to navigate that and see if he can make this Lilia pick make a bit more sense for all of us here in this first game. As we are ready, let's hop on the rip for T1 versus Gen.G.
소환사의 협곡에 오신 것을 환영합니다.
Off we go into the first game of this very hype matchup. T1 up against Gen.G. His turret, who's going to be the first top laner to fall is really the question as the sleep will come in, but the Senna ult helping a bit. A lot of tanking goes in from Guma as Keen is very low, but no kill just yet. Another plate to go down, and finally it will come through. First blood, and Zeus will go down as we expected, but first blood does go to T1.
Now there's no teleport here to protect this top lane, so a lot of plate.
Trying to zone this one away as the smite, where will it go? It does go to Gen.G as Lance is in the death chamber, but he is still alive. Zeus in that front line trying to take down this Ornn and might be able to, but no, does get rooted up. Meanwhile, Keen will go down. Faker does pick up that kill. As looks like a 5v5 brewing for this first Ocean Drake.
Yeah, looks like it. Again, Lahen's no ultimate here, that's very critical, but the spears here are the neutral fight that Gen.G can offer. Yeah, they have a big front line, and their Zeri isn't online just yet, but if T1 are indecisive and a few spears land, that's Dragon going over, and Keen's pushing forward.
Yeah, Keen trying to catch Faker. That's not going to work out. Now he just gets hooked and has to flash away. The sleep is coming in, and Keen is just dead, as Owner will pick up that kill. Keen very over-aggressive in that moment, trying to start a fight onto Valkyrie. Corki, as now Gen.G still trying to fight for this one 4v5. They have the poke, but at the end of the day, ult is going to be sent into the Ornn as now the TP comes in. Lahen's is dead though. I mean, this is no way for him to get out. That's a pick on a Lahen's, and now T1 absolutely could consider this Baron, but
so as T1, Chovy?
Oh, the ult here from Carrier. They're going to catch Chovy, and he should be going down. Down he goes. As meanwhile, Gen.G trying to do something in mid, but Guma's just hopping away. Keen trying to go 1v3 here, nearly takes down Faker, but at the end of the day, it's 2 kills for the side of T1. In the death chamber onto Chovy, and this front line, that third triple knockup comes in from Keen as he's going to knock that one. Faker is just chasing Canyon into the jungle, but he's not going to help out his team until right now. Misses the alone. Finally, Faker will come over and try to punish, takes out Keen, and he might just have the damage. Forces the flash from Pays so that they have to get away from this one. Owner still on the chase. Looking for a bowling ball, as actually it's Faker who does get in there with one auto. Gen.G have to back away from this one.
Yeah, bit of a disaster.
Uh-oh, yeah, Lahen's might just be dead. No flash, and really no hope. Gets a heal from the Nidalee, and then just spear is gonna land, and here comes Chovy over the wall, just to immediately be put in the death chamber up against the Mordekaiser. Gets countered by the Mordekaiser. Owner going in by himself. Keen does take down one, but he will fall as well, and now Owner on the chase here. should eventually be able to take these two out, I would imagine, or at least keep them around inhibitor yet, and they still are going up against Ornaments, as Faker's just going to be caught out and just killed. Down he goes, right as I was saying it, Gen.G.
And
yeah, that Owner is just going to be pulled back into the team. The Cassante gets the jump on him, and Owner is dead. And now Gen.G have prevented the Ocean Soul, which would have been massive. They're gonna go into the fight and immediately just die as Toby will take him down and punish Faker in the mid lane, as now Zeus has to go into this one. We do have a sleep as well. Lilia, Owner trying to do the damage, but this front line is just so tanky. Owner though, gonna go golden. Is it enough as Guma soloing down Keen? It's a very close fight, but at the end of the day, you see Chovy and you see Pays on nearly full health. And Gen.G, it looks like they may have just done it again.
Yeah, looks like they may have. It's been a few games this season that Gen.G been brought to the brink. It looked like maybe it's another win, it's another loss for Gen.G, but maybe it's not today, maybe it's not in this first game. The flyby extendo beam is going to miss. It looks like Owner gets out with his life.
That is Pays right now. He is a turret, and nobody can get on top of him. Nobody can close the gap between them and the Senna, and everybody on the side of T1 is just taking massive poke damage. Nobody can escape the wrath that is Pays right now. And, you know, he's got 1,000 kills. He's got over 1,000 assists now as well in the LCK. And Gen.G off of the backs of him in this very strong late game comp might just end the game here. Keria desperate to try to stop the push from coming in. Faker doing a lot of damage, but immediately the heals come in.
So many minions starting to stack up here. Great front line. Pays could just hit Faker from so far away.
Yeah, there's just no way for him to ever fight that 1v1 Keria. Trying to stop the wave. Guma trying to do it as well. As down will go Chovy, but there's a second, even stronger AD carry that's left over. It is Pays on Senna. As okay, got a little sleep coming in. Trying to delay. Faker trying to get on in here, but Owner just falls, and immediately Faker will as well. Canyon might go down. No, he is actually going to live somehow. Gen.G take game 1 in 42 minutes.
A very, very close game that T1 had a ton of control on, but once again, Gen.G just get it done. They win the
Grazier instead, and in that sense, maybe you don't have to ban the Lucian, you can target something else, but I think the Ezreal Maokai has to stay rather, and it definitely will.
Carry. The win rate across this year, I looked it up, for Xayah across 40 games in the LCK was 30%. It has been played 40 times leading up until this game because I've been one of the biggest haters of Xayah in the world. And you have to deal with poke, like you said, you have to deal with the spears, you have to deal with the extendo beam, Corki rockets, and you have a lot of ways to peel for the Xayah in this game, so it's a better angle than a lot of our teams. A lot of our teams go, there's Vi on the other side, there's a Kai'Sa on the other side, I lock Xayah no matter what, and then they end up just getting bowled over by a lot of other different forms of CC like Rakan or Cannon. They've got the Cannon on their side, so I do think this is a better angle here. And again, Guma has been a fantastic Xayah player. He's had so many famous games of it. You look back to some of our big finals, some of the big losers finals. He hasn't played it, I believe, yet this season, but it is still a strong pick for him. Played it twice so far this season, but it's, again, a niche pick. Very risky here. I like putting Faker on the Azir because the Corki, you know, he didn't look as comfortable on it. He was caught a few times, was trying to be over-aggressive. The Azir has an extra layer of safety in his ultimate. He also has the dash. They have the Vi to set this up. They have tons of great engage to lock down this Zeri. You've got 2 AD carry threats to deal with. I think T1 have the tools. It's how they use them.
Well, let's see how they use them as we are ready to hop onto the rift for game number 2.
소환사의 협곡에 오신 것을 환영합니다.
Here we go, game 2 of T1 up against Gen.G. I think the Hens has to be very careful here, and as I say that, I think he might just die. He is extremely low, but they don't want to push into the Nidalee, but in goes Owner, and his first blood for Faker, as now trying to turn this one around is Gen.G, but they only have 2 people. They're trying to take down Keria, tons of damage between these two, and in fact, Keria will be run down as he doesn't have flash anymore as well. And both of the supports get punished.
Yeah, it's a kill going over to Faker, but it's also
picking up some turret plates here. We'll see how this does go as Keen on the Cassante, no exhaust anymore. There's 3 people down, but Kenyon has made his way down here as well, trying to stop the dive, and this is very dangerous against a Cassante. And look at Keen just getting away from the Q, and Carry is just left for dead. He's just gone. There's nothing not so great as Gen.G are really punishing them, trying to get in here, but now it's actually Canyon who's going to get Fenders dragged back, and now Pace is in a lot of trouble. Barrier not going to help him out as T1 called a bluff on the bottom side and come up big. Up here on the top side, that spear looks like it missed, but it might not matter. Zeus is extremely low, does flash the wall. Remember, Keen doesn't have his flash, but he's Cassante. Doesn't want to use it. He's going to really try to save it until the very end, and he's just going to die instead. It's just Owner going to give his life for him. Nearly takes out Canyon, 1 hit. Might have done it, but yeah, that was a cover your eyes moment as now T1 trying to close the gap here on a Canyon, as they did go pretty deep for that kill, but it's just a trade of kills, and meanwhile, the amount of damage that T1 does have when they engage, but now Lahens gets in there, and Owner in a bit of a rough spot as in goes Faker. He is going to get the drop on a Pace as they throw everything into the Zeri. That is a huge catch, but now Faker will go down, and Lahens is kiting this one out, and he will be able to headbutt to potentially survive as well. Look at the health bars here on Zeus and Carrier. They are so low, and they're getting poked out, and there's not much they can do except run from here.
Yeah, Zeus
Went in, didn't think that Cassante was nearby, and well, he found out that he was, and now he's dead. Flash is gone, and Keen's
in this game, it feels like.
Uh-oh, the Saya gets engaged on. There's the Featherstorm. That's early, as now Lahens. Baker looking for it, just going on a crazy raceway. I don't even know what that was. Meanwhile, Owner goes down, and Lahens is going to find another one. Finds the Kennen here. Nice Sonya's, actually. A lot of damage into Pace, who will go down. And that might actually stop the push for now.
That kind of saves the Guma, no ult.
Oh my god! What was that?
Bye-bye!
What was that damage?
I mean, that's some big quirky damage right there.
Was there a spear in that as well? There had to have been.
I think there was, yeah. And the RFC, i.e. everything hurts.
Well, the game might just be over now.
It is now, I think.
They fake back, and Faker's down. Zhonya's can only save you so many times, and that spear is going to land, and that might just be GG, as with the Baron. Rival Baron power play push coming on in. They're looking to end this game, and Gen.G, they almost lost the game today, but they did not. And in the end of the day, it is a relatively clean 2-0 win over T1, as they're playing with their food, who is Owner right now. And it will be another Nexus to fall. Gen.G, once again, will not drop a game.
Another 2-0 in the books for the team that's already